Hello everyone and welcome to Aces ABS. I am Jatin Singh and today we have along with us Mr. Chirag Rajput who is an exceptional talent that ABS has produced. He had worked in a lot of different areas while he was in our college. He had done a lot of internships and had been at the forefront of a lot of co-curricular activities. He had been an intern at Solu Labs and IND Money, and currently he's working at Damco Solutions, a US based company with a hefty seven-figure salary. So let's begin. First of all, how are you feeling today, sir?
I'm feeling really great, really amazing. Thank you so much for having here. Like it's a really a good feel to be here with you guys. Thank you so much.
That's kind of nice to hear. So, before we move forward, I would like to tell to our audience your journey. I would prefer that our audience know your journey from your mouth only. So,
Uh,
can you tell us a little bit about that?
okay, for sure. So I joined ABS in 2018, and I'm a 2022 pass out, just 4 year of course. And I started my computer science journey basically to get into this tech in my second year, to be precise. And after that, I started with Java, and then I switched to JavaScript for some development kind of stuff. By using Java, I've done a good amount of hands-on on DSA. That's basic, and you have to do that. You can't skip those steps.
Yeah.
So I got a really good hands-on on DSA. That's give some contests like around 3 star around CodeChef and around 100 around on lead code and
Great
GFG.
questions.
Yeah, so that's a good amount to start with. And then I think like I have a subject of web development in my fourth semester basically. So I switched to that. Okay, like this is interesting. Like we should learn this technology, and this is what the corporate sector is. What like they are into some real stuff. You need to really build the product and like need to know how to deploy that. So I learned the framework for JavaScript, that is React and Node. So I started learning that in around fourth semester basically, and I got an internship for on the basis of that as a black and backend developer intern at IND Money, a really good startup, amazing product, I must say. And so there I was first introduced with the really big repositories and like hell lot of code. Like the code, I have a file around for 3,000 lines of code
3,000
for
lines.
in one line in a one file basically, right? So like it was really switch from a second year student to the intern
Yeah.
product, and I'm so grateful to IND Money that he gave me that opportunity to learn. And then I started. It got over 3 months basically, and then I started moving like my focus shifted to blockchain basically. So I read some articles for that. So that article says, I still remember that a blockchain developer is paid around 1.5x to 2x as
Yeah.
compared to a normal software
Yeah.
developer. So for a second year student, that was my
That's a
really,
lot of money.
yeah.
I can confirm that's a lot of money. I'm in second year too.
So for or that concept, I think like, okay, this is something I should go for. And then I started learning about, okay, what is blockchain, like some reading some articles, not as a primary focus on that, just curiosity kind of thing. So then I lean, okay, like this is, there are some articles that says it can bring revolution
Yeah.
to this web 2 world, like web 3, and web 3 kind of gonna start. This is, I'm talking about around August 2021, August September 2021, and I was just completed my third year at that time, and all my colleagues and all my friends were getting placed, and they were getting really
Yeah,
handsome
that
packages.
placement pressure that starts off at the third year. I've heard a lot about it.
Yeah,
Never experienced it though.
that's true. That's true. That's it's a really great pressure. So all your friends were getting placed there, and you are just trying to figure out like, what do I really want to do this?
Yeah.
Like, do I really want to go to that road?
Yeah.
Just to need to. I was in a kind of delusion basically. So I was just keep reading those articles and started learning basically. So I've decided, not perfectly, man, can just give it a chance, learn some stuff, learn some what are the requirements that they ask for as a blockchain developer. So I learned Solidity at that time, and I made a project on that. So and now I have a resume for with a 3 months of internship with a good experience on backend, and like a good project on Solidity. So this was my resume that got shortlisted for my first internship basically. So it was at Solulab. I was a blockchain developer intern there, and at that in that organization I learned a lot about the blockchain stuff. About the I met really great people there, and it was around 4 months around of internship. Then I have my final exams, so I need to drop that off. So there was some majors project you
Yeah.
might build that
The
also.
major project and the minor project.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I was we have to build a really good project and big hefty project for our 8th semester.
Yeah.
So there was some kind of stuff there, and they were not sparring. Well, basically I couldn't manage all those stuff, so I opted, okay, let's put it on a hold, that internship on a hold. I will get that back again, because I know I'm gonna do that. If I've done it once, I
Yeah.
can do that again.
I didn't do it
Yeah,
again.
so I just put it on a hold. Did my I had my exams on that month,
Yeah.
like June and July. I was doing my majors kind of stuff, all the project related stuff. I made a project on machine learning basically. So that was going on parallel, and I have my exams the next moment I had. And in between that I was giving interviews, back to back interviews, online
Yeah.
assessments, and all those things were at that 1 month was
Yeah.
like the coming like hell. So it was a really hectic, I would say,
So
that month.
basically, all the tough things that a student, college student can imagine came all at once to you.
Yeah, like projects, my internships, and my like interviews,
Yeah.
and my exams, final exams.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was it, and I managed quite well, I would say. And then I was able to crack this Damco Solutions. It's a really, I would say, great interview experience. I would say, like, it was 3 interviews was there. Like it was 3 panels were there, like for the Java NDSA, and for the backend, and for the blockchain. They tested all my 3 skills basically, and that I got. And then we had a managerial round, and then I finally got my offer. And like, yeah, that's my story for
Yeah.
college to this corporate world. Yeah.
That's a great college experience. That is probably the ideal college experience that you can imagine. So when you explained your journey, you told us like you did a lot of development before you moved on to blockchain. What would you say is the significance of doing development before blockchain? Because my domain is also blockchain, and I feel it. I feel that lack because I'm in the second year and I have not done a lot of development yet. But I feel that like whenever I learn blockchain, because it seems like it's all theory but no implementation yet. The implementation would only come if I would have done a lot of development before. So can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah. So, like talking about development is all about like problem solving skills. I would really say that. So we engineers really need that. It's not about developing something or doing that development. It's that mentality. If I'm like aware of that bugs or like that errors that we get while deploying those stuff. So it's really important to do web 2 development, that is client server architecture, like the basic architecture. We have to be there, need to see how those things work. Then only we can switch to the web 3 development. There are n number of shortcuts that can lead to
Yeah.
I would say nowhere. So you should not opt for the like some shortcuts are obviously there. You can learn Solidity as a language
Yeah.
and do some smart contracts right there, and you can get that job or like interview get cracked if you are lucky. So I would recommend to everyone, just go focus on the basics, learn the development, do hands of coding, make some projects, learn how the databases are working. Like if you don't know what you are lagging, then how can you improve that thing?
Huh.
Right. So web 2 had some flaws, I would say. So if we know that flaws, then only we might improve na.
Yeah.
Like and web 2 is like cherry on the top. It's not how you can build and then you just use web 3. It's not like that. You have to build the foundation on web 2, do a very good hands-on coding, then you can switch to, then you can add the a pinch of blockchain into that, and that will make the things decentralized. That will make a product that the real world really needs. That will do that.
So to summarize, you are basically trying to say that you cannot skip anything.
No.
In order to master the web 3, you must master web 2. Like usually I hear this thing from students only when they are making resumes and stuff, that I'll put some heavy names on my resume, like I had done data structure, I did data science, blockchain, all that kind of stuff, just with the conception that if I put this on my resume, I'll get selected quite quickly or better than others, I would have an edge over others. So I think that philosophy is wrong because like you said, you cannot master web 3 before web 2, so you
Yeah.
just have to grit the way through. You have to
Exactly.
learn the web 2 before you do web 3.
Yeah, it's like you have to run an extra mile.
Yeah.
That's when you reach Web 3. You have to complete the race. You have to do all the stuff that a software developer does. Build your logical thinking, master your problem solving skills, and then run the extra mile. That's when the really fruit,
Yeah.
like you get the fruit.
Yeah.
Right? It's not okay, just run that extra mile and you have skipped the race.
Yeah. Sir, during my school days, there was this one teacher that taught me computer science, and she gave me probably one of the best advice that I've ever known. That in order to learn a new technology, the best way is to make a project.
Yep.
No matter how insignificant or how trivial the idea might seem, but
Yeah.
just make a project out of it, and you know the language as quick as possible.
Yeah, I really agree with that point because the this field has a lot of things to do when we learn a lot of things when we get hands dirty on that, and we will get n number of new errors, like new bugs would be there, like you have never heard of that in your theoretical things, like you get a lot of new challenges basically when you do hands of coding. So yeah, that's the best practice to learn the new skill.
Okay, sir, I completely agree with what you said because that's my philosophy too. That's what I've been taught since I started doing the computer science. Now, let's just move on to the blockchain part because I'm quite excited to be on that.
Yep.
Okay, sir, before anything, just tell us a little bit about your journey in blockchain. How did you opted blockchain? What did you saw in this technology that made you choose it over every other big name in the industry right now? The ones who have made their impact already, like data science and
Yeah.
AI, ML, and etc.
I would really say that it's all depend on your mindset basically. So this college to corporate, college to career switch is like really complex thing.
Yeah.
It's not easy for anybody to make a choice, right? When we're in a college, we have a different mindset, and it's kind of switch in the mindset. I would say that leads to that decision. Like, okay, I'm gonna do this for the next 10-20 years of my life, and I'm gonna kill it.
Yeah.
So that switch is difficult, but I would say the main turning point was that it has some revolutionizing powers in that. So I've always been the guy in power. So
Yeah.
let's make it.
That you like to be in charge.
Yeah, so I like to take the charge on that. It's good to learn new skills, to acquire
Yes.
the skills that you need,
Gosh, completely
and
agree.
develop your product. My aim was to build something of my own, and to that product that will sustain a long. You need something the best of technology that you need to use the best of technology, right?
In the simplest way possible, can you explain what blockchain really is? Because if you go on the web and type in blockchain, you'll get a lot of buzzwords.
Yeah.
Because I've been there, I have tried researching a little bit about it before choosing my domain, but I was confused for a long time. So can you elaborate a little bit on that, like what blockchain really is?
I would say a blockchain is kind of a distributed ledger, and I would recommend it. I would say it as a database, distributed database. That's it. That's the as basic as possible. So, what blockchain is? It's a kind of data structure. I would not say data structure. It's a kind of a database that's decentralized. It's not centralized. We have a client and server architecture, right? There is a client, us, and we hit on the server and we get the response, right? The control has the all the control is on the server, right? So if I made n number of servers, n number of different servers, like everybody has a different server, and this client owns this server.
Yeah.
What I meant was, if I need to post something on internet, and I would not post it on Google, I would post it on my wallet address. Like, it's a typical thing, but I will post on my server basically on my node. So if anybody needs to access that information, say I post a video on blockchain, and I post it on YouTube,
Yeah.
right? So I lose all the rights over that. YouTube can put my video down, right? It can show that video to anybody
Yeah.
in that like all its users basically. So I lose my ownership there by giving that video to YouTube, right? So the difference is, if I own that node, so I have the power to manipulate that, who can see that video, and I will be directly paid for that. it's not cut in the YouTube makes a cut in
Yeah.
between the creators and the revenue that it gives to the
Yeah.
creator, right? So that thing is resolved using blockchain. That's the power of blockchain.
Yeah.
So what blockchain does, it makes a different node for
Okay.
every user. I would say that. So different users owns a node, and it's a really kind of a big vision. We need almost a good infrastructure for that. We need a lot of manpower and a lot of technical stuff to implement what I'm saying right now. But it's gonna happen. This is the main aim what Web3 is aiming. Like this is what we are focusing on right now,
Yeah.
to own that thing on the internet.
Yeah.
Owning things on internet, right? So if we post something on blockchain, on that database, we own that thing, right? So that is blockchain basically. It's a connected database. We have access to all the things. It's all open source, and yeah, that's the most I would say untheoretical definition of blockchain. I would say it's
So you described blockchain as a distributed database. In what sense would you say a distributed database is better than a centralized database that we usually study in Web 2?
yeah, it's a really good question, I would say. And this centralized database, this has some flaws. I would not say, because we are still using that. It's a good practice to use that, and we are still using. But the main flaw is like it has some latency, and we don't own that data that we give to the internet. The main problem is this, and the third problem is security. So majorly these are the three aspects. Like the one is latency. Blockchain, like if like how the blockchain database works is, if I get to like every node has all the data, right? If A, B, C are nodes, these all the nodes have all the data of whole chain, right? So if I'm accessing from a data from a node, right? So I can get it from A, from B, from C.
Yeah.
So see, like when I was accessing a data on a centralized server, I was getting it from one server basically.
One server only.
Right. Now I'm accessing on a decentralized thing,
Yeah.
right? So I can get the data from all the three nodes, like 10%, 20%, 80%,
Yeah.
70% precisely. So 10, 20, and 70% combine together and give that data to me. That's how works in uTorrent.
Yeah.
uTorrent is
Yeah, the seeding part of the uTorrent.
exactly this concept has been, we are using this concept from a really long back.
Yeah.
Right? But we don't know, okay, this thing is decentralized.
Yeah.
Right? So this is how the blockchain node works. Like if I need to access a data on a series of blockchain, I can get it from, like, a part of that will come from this node, part of that will come from this node, because all the nodes have all the datas. Right? So this is the major advantage we have on distributed databases. And the security part, it's super secured. We all know blockchain is known for the immutability. It's a really common terminology we use for that. So security, and we own that data.
Yeah.
There is no third party kind of thing, because Google is what Google is using our data, and it's using our data to generate revenue.
Yeah.
Right? And give some portion of that revenue or profit to us.
Yeah.
That's how the architecture is right now. So if we cut that third man kind of stuff, so it's my data on the internet and I own that stuff.
Yeah.
That is the power that blockchain adds to the Web2 databases. Yeah.
So yeah, like you said that part of the data is distributed between various servers.
Yeah.
So इससे तो शायद I guess it would be difficult for hackers to even hack that data, because it's not on the centralized server. It's
Exactly.
distributed everywhere.
Yeah.
So you need to hack into each and every server, the n number of servers, which I think must be a really big number.
Yeah, for sure. It's a long
Yeah.
chains, and it's cryptographically
Yeah.
like we use hash codes. Like for example, if we use Bitcoin, so Bitcoin uses SHA-256.
Yeah.
It's a kind of algorithm that generates hashes. So every block is connected to a hash. Hash previous hash code. Like that's how the blocks are connected to each other. So if getting entered to one block is like, when we enter one block, the SHA of that block will be changed.
Yeah.
And it will invalidate all the nodes after that.
Yeah.
So it will create a huge disruption, I would say, in that chain.
Yeah.
So that is just not possible. Like we cannot, like all the nodes cannot be hacked.
Yeah.
Basically, it's if a one node might be hacked, then the other chain will like seriously get it down.
Yeah.
So there is a super secured SHA
Yeah.
256 algorithm that protects that blockchain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you explain a little bit about that hash algorithm in a simpler terms?
Yeah, hashing algorithm is like, just assume that it's a function.
Yeah.
We give a we give any length out input, basically.
Yeah.
We can give any number of inputs,
Hmm.
and it will generate an exact same length of output.
Yeah.
That is hashing, as simple as that.
Yeah.
I can give 1 2 3 and it will generate, say, 64 bit of output. I can input 1 2 3 4 5 and it will generate the exact 64 bit
Yeah.
of output again. So that is hashing, basically, generating the input into an output that is a fixed amount.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't depend on what the input is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's hashing.
So basically, it's a hash function is a cryptic function. कि हम उसे कोई value देंगे and it will convert it into an unreadable form.
Yep.
And you also explained to me like as we move further along the blocks and with every transaction that keeps on changing.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so मतलब
Yeah.
you cannot keep a track of what the hash function is. As if you are trying to hack it somewhere, it'll just change itself
Yeah,
in the
and
next moment only.
yeah, it's so hard to crack that hash. Like this SSH 256 algorithm. It's super hard. You need
Yeah.
extra amount of computing power
Yeah.
to just crack that. It's next
Yeah.
to impossible for now.
Yeah.
For now, yeah. So it is secured, ultimately secured.
Yeah.
So no need to doubt on that thing.
Yeah.
It's fine.